Your time is up, my time is now. You can't seize my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't seize my time is now. This is what got no fell off. I'm still hot, not your shell off. My money stacked that, plus I can't turn the swell off. Franchise to a big business. Limits is automatic. I win it, so you get on you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Don't know when you break it, you get the heart and nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. Slaughter and stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they can run with my division, but they are fishing with no bait. Get your boy home quick. I got my soul straight. I brush them out like cocaine. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. And they hate lemonade. I drop your whole glands. Lay your ass down for the 3 second tag. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't seize my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't seize my time is now. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. 5 pounds of coverage, 40 face, 10 pins with a 40 team. It's a war dance, a victory's death. A false stance is a gift.
All right, people. The things I do to get your attention. Woo! It's hot in this box. Woo! All right. Welcome, party people. Just when you thought Halloween was over. Surprise! Not a Halloween message. Welcome to the next edition of the TWU UG North America, Canada, US video recording Telestranz thing for you. All right. Today we are going to cover a lot of stuff, but I got to start here, right? Like I'm wearing a box on my head. It's just like a box. It's like box on my head. And really, it's just paper. Oh, I lost my mustache. Oh, I have a mustache because it's Movember. All right, there it is. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is absolutely insane. Get your popcorn, kids, because who knows where this boat's going to end up. Anyway, all right. The reason I'm doing this is because it's an unknown, right? Like Mr. Unknown. You don't know who this is, right? It's kind of like all the students who submit or start applications with us and don't finish it. We don't make connections with them. Or they do and they don't say nothing on their application. They're a bunch of unknowns. Well, it's the 5th of November, which means remember the 5th of November when Matt made this dumb video, okay? Woo! But that's why I'm committing that this month be Movember, right? That we're going to take time to get this month, not December, not January, because we would have already lost. We're going to take this month time to get to know our students. We got preview coming up. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But look, it's just paper. It's just a digital screen. It's just a thing, right? If we don't get to know our students, and if you're just moving your students through the wicket, like, oh yeah, I got inquiry, app started, app submitted, app submitted, app complete, admit, bam, bingo, bango, bango, I can have a latte. No, it's a waste of our time. That student doesn't tell us who they are and what matters to them. What kind of challenges they overcome? What are they interested in? Look, if you don't know that student and they just submit, doesn't mean they won't admit and doesn't mean they may not commit to. They might. They might commit at the end, okay? But look, we're not the hero in the story. We know this. We've heard this, right? And if you believe that, if we believe that we're not the hero in the story, then that means we're the guide, right? And a good guide knows how to listen. A good guide knows the person with whom they're guiding, because that person is committed to the vision and the story, or at least the next stage in their story, and the guide knows how to get them through that. Look, we've got students that are literally in an unknown state. We got about almost 11,000 of them, and only 220, I believe, have been admitted. We've got a lot of opportunity. Students that you've met, you've worked hard to meet. You've met them at tables. You started to meet them at schools. We met them last year, the year before, whatever. We've worked hard. We've spent money. We went through frustration. You've worked extra hours. And if you don't take the time to try to get to know them now, then it was for naught. People, this is November. It's time that we get to know our students. And I think when we start investing time to get to know our students, that's going to be the differentiator in the end. Follow me for a second. A lot of our students in the lower mainland, for the most part, if they're Christians, we're still school number 3 because of things that they've encapsulated us with. They've put on us. Oh, TWU is very expensive. Yeah, they are a Christian university, but they're really expensive. TWU, they've been in the news a lot. I don't know about their accreditation. They got all this stuff, they got a lot of like public baggage on them, right? Like encapsulated. If they're a Christian family, if they're a faith-seeking family, yeah, we're important to them, but because we don't get to know them and they don't get to know us, we kind of stay in this bubble. So what do? If we're in position number 3, then they start to elevate school number 2, and they start to compare those two. A lot of times it's going to be cost focused, right? It makes sense. These families have got to spend today dollars. Today dollars look really low. They don't understand that there's an enormous cost, that they're putting their student at risk and the education at risk, and who knows what else that student could be exposed to going into a public school setting, when, particularly if they're a Christian family, this is a value to them. Like, their faith is important, but they're going to send them off to a public school. So what happens is they say, oh, well, there's UBC, and oh, there's Simon Fraser. Okay, we can compare those two, I guess, because this one too much perception, too much issues here. I don't even like, it's too expensive, can't get into it. And then they choose those, and we lose out. But if we take the time to actually commit to getting to know these students, the students who have something to say, if you meet a student in the field and you're saying, hey, I'm sending you the app link, but wait, hold on a second. Look, it's only taking you about 20 minutes to complete, but feel me on this, okay? Say something on the extracurriculars. Tell us what you enjoy doing. If you want to play Fortnite all night, let us know that, right? If you're into rugby or something like that, let us know. We want to get to know you a little bit. Oh, and you've got challenges. Tell us what your challenges are. Your family, you're a first-generation student in Canada. Or, hey, my mom and dad, man, they got PhDs, and I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to go into science. They're doctors, whatever. Like, what are the challenges you're facing? How are you overcoming them now? And then I think the third prompt is something about how they see their education helping them move forward in their life. Look, challenge your students to say something, because then we know if we're even going to be a good guide for them. But if you don't take the time to get to know your students, then this is for naught. It's just going to be in November. No extra students in November. But if you take the time to win them now and get to know them, then we will look back at the 5th of November and say, this is when we started to make a difference. Okay? We good? We good? Pam? Want me to put the box back on my head? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Pam. Whew, that box was hot. It's like Africa hot up in the box. Anyway, okay. I'm going to go over, that was my mat rant. I'm going to go over my screen share on my computer. For some reason, it's not working. I don't know why, so I can't screen share the data for you today. So I'm going to give you some high-level like stuff, things, and you're just going to have to trust me on it. And then when we get into EM meeting, maybe we'll have a display or something, or at least be able to cover the data a little more in detail. Overall, we're 13% on application or inquiries, 13% up, which is fantastic. Yeah. However, I'm gonna challenge this number when we get into the U.S. numbers a little bit, but largely those numbers are predicated by U.S. inquiries. Okay. Next up on apps submitted, because that's really the next major stage that we're looking at. We're up 2%. 2% is good. Every positive number is a good number. That's a win. On the apps completed side, 11%. We're up 11%. Where we're seeing a dip, it's in the admit. And part of that's just processing because it's a high volume season. Right now, we're back about 13% in total admits of students who've submitted an application for completion. Hey, it's not a big deal. I'm not too worried about it. I talked to Karen today. Yeah, her inbox is crushed, and she's one deep, and so she's trying to get through those as fast as can. I anticipate that's probably going to flip here real soon. So we'll break even, get close to even. In Canada inquiry numbers, you guys are down about 2.5%. That's a pretty nominal number given with the amount of fairs that we still have left going on in the remainder of the month. Not sweating that too much. The good numbers is this is a fantastic number. Apps submitted in Canada. Apps submitted in Canada up 25% over last year. Yeah, you should feel good about that. That means you're doing. Some of you are definitely digging in deep. Liesel, by the way, what? Lady is just straight up going crazy out there in Alberta right now. Good for you, Liesel. Apps completed 58% up, Canada, over last year. 58%. That's like you're like basically lapping last year's number already. That's good. Admits, you guys are really strong too. I don't trust my math here. I put it up on my board right here. I don't trust my math, but it says like 83% up. I'm going to double check that math, and I'll get back to you guys during EM meeting or sales. But Canada largely looking really strong. I'm going to put an asterisk by that, and we're going to come back. Well, no, I'm just going to address the asterisk right now. First asterisk is we look good on these numbers, but December and January, the end of December into January, we're going to look really behind because we're short on staff. We're down. We're going to be down Chris Wong. We're going to be down Liz here in just a couple weeks. And both of those are significant anchor pieces to our territory map in Canada. And they've been doing their job, getting inquiries. They've been moving students to the pipe. We've got to keep those students in the tank warm. Okay. And so we're already on Chris's territory. I've already reached out to several of you, and so is Chris. We're starting to task you with keeping the tank warm, working some of those students, right? Same thing's going to happen with Liz's territory too. We're going to have to rally around and share some of that database until we get a body. So I can tell you this, I'm not just going to hire Pulse. I'm not, particularly at this time of year. They got to have, I'm going to hire for hungry, humble, smart. They've also got to have an extra portion of hustle and an extra portion of heart. These are got to be right fits. I'd rather us try to slug it out until we have the right fit in those spaces. That's important. Liz has worked hard to cultivate that area, and Lord knows Ontario was tough. Chris is just an inquiry machine out in that space. He speaks the market language. He understands what they're looking for. He's done it well. We're happy to see both these folks go on to the next adventures in life. But at the same time, where you guys are going to be missed. Liz, you my peeps. Chris Wong, you get me, dog. And so I appreciate all the work that both of you guys have put in. We guys are going to be missed, but that means we're all going to feel that missing here in a minute because they got a lot of database, and we got to handle it right and make sure that we hand it off to the next person in a good state. So that means it's all hands on deck when it comes to our staffing issues going forward. Okay, that means in terms of database, you don't got to travel to those spaces. You got to do nothing crazy. No one's got a plane going to Ontario to work a bunch of inquiries. But you got to work those inquiries from where you're at. Okay, and we'll get into that as I call on each one of you to help support that. On the U.S. side, short staffing. Remember, I told you it's going to be like end of December, into January. We're going to see that ripple effect on the Canadian side. Well, we're already seeing the ripple effect on the U.S. side. Here's the overall numbers. U.S., you're up 27% overall inquiries, which is fantastic. Got a couple of things working for us. One, we have previous marketing events. So that 27% is a little softer than I would prefer, but because I think some of those students have been in there since Mercy Meets Her in 2016. So I don't know how solid those leads are. They've been getting drip campaigns and so forth like that. I don't know where those students are at. So really, I would take that 27%. It's probably more like 8 to 10% when we scrape off all the old stuff and say, here's the fresh content we've done. Helps to have Hillsong Tour going on. That's going to help create some small, limited, direct branding, but it's also creating tertiary branding in the market as people start to say, oh, yeah, I heard about the school when I was at this concert. It's going to create some, like I said, tertiary impacts for us that'll help build us down the road. On app submitted side though, here's where the short staffing comes in at, right? We've been working, we've been traveling, we've done more fairs. We're doing about 25 more fairs than we did last year on the US side, but we're only down to 3 people instead of 5. And this is immediately where it shows up. We're down 18% on app submitted. That means me, Megan, Paul, we got to get on the giddy up and talk to these students that we've been meeting with in the field and getting them forward and getting them to this app submitted side, getting to know them, not just processing. We're not just moving point A to point B to point D, point C, and then take a latte break. This is about getting to know these students. We're gonna have to reach in, be intentional, and pull some of these students out. You met them, I met them. We got to talk to them. We got to get them moving in the right way because we get to know them. But we're down about 18%, 13% app completed. Yikes. Last year, app completed and app admits were crushing. We were crushing last year. Down 36% on the admit side too. And again, that's just indicative. We haven't been working. We've been working the very high end of the funnel, but the 3 of us have not started diving into the database. As every day goes by, that's more and more students that have moved on from us. So we've got a responsibility to get on the freaking phone, call these students moving forward. Okay. All right. So that's the state of the data in a real quick overview. We have 150. No, it's not, about 220 total admits. I don't know how many of them have actually filled out the application completely, but I have been trying to read between 15 to 20 of these starting the week before to now. And as I find students that have something to say, I'm trying to acknowledge them either with the AC or with the student directly. I want to know, hey, we read your application, and you know what? You got a voice, and we're good guides for those students who got a voice. We can help you through. Let's talk about the future. And we've got over 1,000 students that have started an app. Okay, look, right there. Right there's the opportunity. See me? You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? There's the opportunity. We have over 1,000 students that have started an app, and we got to call them. And you know what? Some of you are not making your calls. I know you're not, and I know you're busy. I know you're in a car. Your car smells like pizza. Your shirt smells like a coffee shop. I get it. And you're tired of talking to 8th graders at your table. But you've got over 1,000 students that have started an app, and we got to move them. They're still in the modality. Oh yeah, I got to do stuff. Okay, get to know them, talk about their future, dream about them, let them know that, acknowledge the fact that the college selection process is daunting. It should be intimidating, but that's okay. We're here to help them. Move them, call them. Have I mentioned that yet? Call your students. Ringy dingy, call them. Okay, text them. Sure, text them. Email them. Okay. They're not really reading the email. Let's just be honest. It's the mom reading the email or the really overbearing dad. Okay, that's the way people read the email. Okay, so call them, text them, get them on the phone, get to know them, move them forward. Okay, tu sabes? Okay, good. All right, that's the state of the data. That's where we're at with that preview weekend. Preview weekend's coming up, and it's already stronger. We've got about 35 students that have on the Canadian side, and 11 to 13 students on the American side. It's a little harder for the Americans. It runs right in conjunction with Thanksgiving holiday. It's okay. It's all right. We can still move them. Paul, Megan, myself, you know what tools we have in the database. You find that student. They really need to be here. Let's just try to move some mountains and get them here. What we got to do. You guys know the rules that are in there. Paul and Megan, by the way, Raise Me. The Raise Me students' accounts closed on November 1st. We had 847 of them have designated funds available to them from TWU. So Paul and Megan, I know you guys are going to connect about the Raise Me report, but 847 students, I believe it is, have funds, and about 70 or 80 of them have done a FAFSA indicating us. So we got to connect with these students. Okay, have you guys picked up on that? It's November, not November. November. Okay. What are we at here? Next up on the board here I gotta go to the ugly thing first. Okay. PCARDs. Okay. PCARD process. It's like number 1 on the board from Sheol over here. Right. Fingers going the opposite way. This way. PCARD. It just needs an exorcism. We need like some shaman and like some rabbis and a couple of Catholic guys and like some spooky music, and we need to just like pray demonic presence of the PCARD process gets exercised, because it's crazy. Thought we made some progress on the PCARD side. Brian and myself are testing an alternative to help us eliminate paper. Okay, we're just going to force this issue. Software's not here, although it's definitely being talked about because I made a scene. I made a professional scene at President's Council, but I made a scene nonetheless. And I think they get that I take it personally. I take it passionately. This is impacting not just my team, but about 220 people. Anyway, it's a vampire right in the neck. We need to fix it. And so, woo, got some like in the throat. It's probably hairs up that box. Fiber hairs. Anyway, woo, PCARD process. Here's what I'm going to say. Okay, being serious. Right here. Make sure you're allocating them. They are going to start freezing cards on the 19th of every month if you have not allocated them and got your signature into me. And I can't stop it. Brian can't stop it. Scott can't stop it. Okay? We have forced the issue to the point where they're being really sensitive about how we work. Okay? Until me and Brian get done testing this software option, this patch, if you would, to fix this problem on our side, paper receipts got to be gathered. They got to be stacked together. They got to be put together. You got to allocate all of your things. No more writing them in. Okay? No more writing them in. Don't allocate them. You've got no reason. If you come to me and say, Matt, and you hand me a PCARD and it's all written out, for real, I'm going to be upset. And you need to know it. You need to know it. We're going to shut the door and we're going to have a moment. Okay? Because you're professionals. You know how to handle this. You know how to take care of this. You know how to prioritize. You need to be updating your PCARD. And if your card gets frozen, you're going to have a moment with Brian. Don't do it. Okay? Just get it done. Let's toe the line. I'm telling you, a solution's on the way. Okay? I made a professional scene. They know we're hurting. They know this sucks. They know that cavemen have a better organized system than what they're asking of us right now. So help's on the way. Help's on the way. So I just need us to hold the line tight and don't get out of line. Okay? All right. So that's PCARD stuff. Okay. Whoo! Another one. Here's a good one. Dig your well. # gold digger. You know who our gold digger of the month is? And that's not gold as in, but it's gold. I don't know if you can read that or not because it's like a reflection. But anyway, the gold digger of the month, Pam Wheels Teagan. What? Pam, did you guys check that feed on the text stream? First of all, Pam, put it on Slack. Anyway, Pam. So here's the thing. Pam had opportunity with the Christian high school, who we've had a little bit of a relationship, but if you understand Pam's territory, not a lot of proactive good stuff has been happening on that space. We've had some presence, but we haven't done any wells there. A lot of puddle hunting before Pam got there. Well, let me tell you, Pam has bought into # insurgent theory because she is doing everything she can to take key ground in that territory. She identified a school. She said, "Hey, Matt, this is my well." And guess what? They've got a really strong volleyball culture here. And it just so happens that, hey, here comes the TWU men's volleyball team playing some other yokel school there, and we pounded them into the sand all day long. It wasn't even a sand volleyball game, but we pounded them into the sand. But here's what Pam did. She saw the opportunity for the two cultures to intersect. We paid for all the tickets. I think we got them food. I'm going to say we got them food. Is that okay, Pam? Yes. Yeah, we got a hot dog and a drink. And if we didn't, you just roll with it, Pam. Anyway, but we got them game day shirts. We got them those, like the things. What are those things? Like those vuvuzelas? No, it's not those. The thunder sticks. We got thunder sticks. And we made such a strong impression. We had more fans in the stands than that other college did, right? And that's fantastic. When our chaos travels on the road, that sends a message. And good for you for digging, you gold digger, Pam Wheels Teagan. I don't know how many students, but then after the game, our men's volleyball team invited them out onto the court. All these high school volleyball team onto the court and prayed with them. and then shared life with them. You know what? That's awesome. Not all those guys are going to play on our team, but they're watching people who they wish they could be or want to become or might become. It's aspirational, and they're out there with them at a high level. And that's how they see themselves. Man, not every one of the students is going to come to the university. I get it, but it's an impression. It's strong. They won't forget us, and that's moving us from third place to second place, right? Because now we may not win every one of these head-to-heads with the big local school like TRU, but we're getting close. We're getting close, and that's what it's doing. That's how you dig your well, Pam. You gold digger. Good job. All right. Next up. Oh, have I mentioned this? It's kind of a weird time. Have I mentioned that you need to call your freaking students? Call them. Okay? Call them. Because I'm starting to check call activity. Got brought to my attention call activity. Some people are just going bananas. What? Liesel, all the way out in Calgary, just going bananas on the phone, like 500 calls in like, I don't know how many days. Like, she's got carpal tunnels in her thumbs from dialing numbers. Good for you. But some of us are not making the calls. Looking at you. Stop putting popcorn in your mouth. Music video's over. You didn't make your calls today, did you? Okay. Okay? I mean, it's not okay. I know you didn't make your calls today. I know that you had other things you felt like, I got to do this. I got to do this. Got to take a breather. I want you to take a breather. It's important. But you need to call your students. Okay? I'm going to start calling you out, and you're not going to like it. Okay? We're too short-staffed for us not to maintain our own yard. At minimum, maintain your yard. Cut the grass. You've been watering it while you've been traveling, getting inquiries in. Cut the yard. Call those students. Get on the ringy-dingy and make some contact. Okay? All right, you? Over there. I see you. Call them. Okay? No more excuses. It's coming out. You're not going to like it. Don't be that guy. Don't be that human. Because guy implies it's a gender and it's human. Don't be that human. Okay? All right. What do I guess? I don't know if you guys noticed that I've put this like soup strainer on my face. It is Movember in Canada and in America. And it's Mustache November, or Men's Awareness Month. And so I decided that I'm actually going to wear a mustache for the entire month. But my wife's out of town, so she hasn't seen this. So I could just be maybe not Movember, but maybe like Mo today, and that's about it, because she gets home tomorrow. So we'll see what she says about it. But look, this is an important thing, and it's a PSA, and even the ladies need to watch this and hear this part. Look, men statistically are more prone to anxiety, stress, heart attacks, so forth, because we're stuffers. We don't, especially when we're with other men, we don't talk about our feelings a lot. And unless you're with me, and I'm all emo. Anyway, but 99% of them, we don't talk about our emotions really well, particularly with those we care about, because we've got this weird machismo gene in our head. It says you got to be tough, got to be strong, got to be resilient, which is nonsense. It's just a myth. But because the gospel is littered with healthy examples of men being emotional and reaching out and seeking help. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But men are notorious about not handling this, and they don't handle it well. And some men who stifle it in are prone to mental health issues. One particular category of folks that I am sensitive to, I'm a veteran, and I see a lot of our young men and women, for that matter, coming back from all over the world. And as you understand, it's a chaotic world, and they're coming back, and they've been firebranded in a culture that says you must be tough, you must push through, you must overcome, and there are no excuses. And then they come back and they're broken. And so from a Movember perspective, here's what I ask. If you are so moved to think about our veterans, if you could just pray for them and lift them up. And if you know an agency that works with veterans, I would challenge you to give up 1 month of Starbucks and just take a small one-time donation to that agency and give it to them. Make a difference. Some of those agencies are really investing in PTSD therapy for those young men and women, and they need it. And unfortunately, it's something that we've just forgotten, and our countries have just kind of neglected because we didn't realize the impact of what's happening in modern warfare and the effects that it's having on our veterans today. So I'm a two-time survivor of my own mental health, and men, we've got to get past this idea that I can't be vulnerable. You can come talk to me. You can talk to find a brother, find a mentor, find somebody, go to your doc, whatever. But if you're feeling a little gray, that's one thing. But if it turns into full-on blues, man, and you've got to be stoic and push forward, that ain't good. That's not a good space to be in. Also, men, you need to like check your junk out and make sure like your body's in good shape, because we don't take care of ourselves, our whole body. And the truth is that when you get snow on the roof like this guy, I haven't done a great job taking care of my body. And I come from a family with prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and bone cancer, and I'm like, I'm armor-plated. I'm not armor-plated anymore. If I was under 30, I might be thinking that. I'm not armor-plated anymore. I'm like a rickety, broken piece of aluminum street metal. Anyway, and so I don't even think a recycling bin would take me right now. But I gotta take care of myself. I gotta take care of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually, which then leads me to the last thing, the Slack attack question of the month. You're going to see a section, a chapter, or a little channel called QOM, question of the month. And here's the question of the month. It's the last thing I'm going to leave you with. One of the ways that can help us sometimes with our just how we feel, right, is to put gas in people's tank. And one of the ways that we do that is to say, hey, here's things that I'm seeing. So here's the question of the month for all of you. How are you seeing God? Okay, see right there, it just got real, right? How are you seeing God interact either in your life or around your life, whether that be in your work, your marriage, your partnerships, your friendships, your family, your kids, whatever, your dogs, whatever. How are you seeing God interact in that? How are you seeing the evidence of what he does, who he is, and why is that special to you? Question of the month, right? How are you seeing God interact in life about you? That's important. We're an arm of we see ourselves as a university as an arm of the church, right? Well, guess what? If that arm isn't connected to the heart and the body, that might as well just chop it off, throw it in the middle of the road, and just let it flop around until it loses its life, right? But we're connected to something. One of the ways we're connected to the body, how we know we're connected to the body is when the body lets us know that good things are happening, and it keeps the arm strong. It keeps us moving forward. And so that's how you put gas in, like someone like my tank. Let us know. I want to know how God is interacting in your life. That's important. We can't forget that. And anyway, so there you go. My name's Matt with 1T. I'm not going to put the box on anymore. I don't want to see any snaps. You probably get somebody somebody screenshot this probably. Anyway, so there you go. I'll take you out with, let's see, who am I going to take you out with? You guys want to hear something? Oh yeah, we'll finish out the John Cena song from WWE.
My rap, John Cena trademark, y'all are so. We talk about the break you make, but don't know the recipe for dodo. Aiming guns in all your photos, that's a no-no. When this pop, your lip lock, your big talk, I'm playing no-so. See what happens when the